Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, approximately 2 o'clock in Honolulu, 7 o'clock in New York. It is Monday, January 11th, 2021, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. We saw a nice recovery after Friday's dramatic decline, taking gold down by about $66. On today's show, we'll look at different resistance levels in both gold and silver and talk about the setup for our next trade. Let's start with gold right now. Traders, after Friday's dramatic sell-off of $66, we saw gold trade to a lower low today, breaking below 1820, but closing above yesterday's close to the tune of about $10.30, with gold currently at $1845.70. The first chart that I do want to take a look at today is going to be a daily candlestick chart with our moving averages as well as our Fibonacci retracement. There are a couple things that become apparent, and the most prominent thing that we recognize is the activity that occurred on Friday. That is this large red candle here, and what's most interesting is it opened above all three of our major moving averages, 50, 100, and 200 day, which really puts it in bearish territory. Then today we had an interesting range because the market traded to a lower low, this coming in at 1817, but as you can see, currently we do have gold pricing back above not only the 38.2% fib retracement, that's this number here at 1843, but also above the 200-day moving average. Next, we'll look at Forex or spot gold, currently 1841.50. And when we compare the futures to the Forex gold pricing, we can see some similarities. Obviously, we had the big day on Friday, which moved through all three major averages. We had the following day, meaning today, break to a lower low. And we have current pricing just above the 200-day moving average. That would be, of course, in candlestick format. However, if we convert this to a Heikin-Ashi, which is a Japanese average, and the major difference between drawing this candle is the open is always the fix of the midpoint of the prior candle. Although I see some real signs of support here, I want to give it at least one more day until I feel comfortable enough that we have true technical confirmation that we have seen a pivot or a key reversal and a move back to the upside. That would trigger a buy signal. We would send out a trade alert accordingly. And traders, silver had an extremely strong day today, moving up 3 times in terms of percentage gain, with March silver at 24.98.5, up about 35 cents or 1.4% compared to the rise in gold, which is 0.46%. An obvious key difference between the action that we have seen in gold and the action that we have seen in silver is that silver, even though it traded under pressure, came nowhere near the 200-day moving average. That's down here, and in fact on Friday closed below the 50-day moving average and is now back above the 100-day moving average. Just as in gold, I'm going to wait another day to get an indication that we have a technical V or key pivot before issuing our next trade alert. However, in a Heikin-Ashi chart, what we look for is called the pivot candle. Pivot candle would be this particular candle right here. It's after a defined trend in which you have fairly large body size, you get the same color candle, but it turns into a doji-like candle, a very, very small body size. We're not seeing that yet in silver, so we could see further downside action, but we must realize that the Japanese average chart intrinsically has to lag behind real-time behavior because it is based upon averages. Traders, even with the strong gains exhibited today in both gold and silver, you can see that that was against the headwinds of dollar strength today, up about 0.5% at 90525. And traders, lastly, I do want to take a look at Bitcoin futures because as we spoke about over the last week, is that whenever we see a market rise in a parabolic manner, which is pretty much a straight linear line up, at the time it retraces, it usually gives back that energy just as quick. We saw that today. Bitcoin futures down $5,095 at $34,425. The other thing that we are noticing, we have a variation off of a three-river evening star, which could indicate that we have more further downside in Bitcoin yet to come. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you, as always, good trading. We will talk to you tomorrow for the next daily update and review. Bye-bye.